Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that we all need: how to have better conversations. This is something we do every day, but sometimes we forget how to really listen and connect with other people. What you're going to hear now is a simple version of a real TED Talk. It has been rewritten in easy English for people who are learning English. And I will play the role of the TED speaker to share these ideas with you, like I am standing on the TED stage. So please follow along, enjoy the talk, and learn how to have great conversations with anyone, anywhere. All right, I want to see who agrees. How many of you have removed a friend on Facebook because they said something that made you angry about politics, religion, taking care of kids, or food? And how many of you know at least one person that you stay away from because you don't want to talk to them? You know, before, if we wanted to have a nice conversation, we just had to do what Henry Higgins and My Fair Lady said: talk about the weather and your health. But now, with climate change and people who don't want vaccines, those topics are not safe either. So this world that we live in, this world where every talk can turn into a fight, where our politicians can't talk to each other, and where even very small things have people fighting strongly for and against, is not normal. Pew Research did a study with 10,000 American adults, and they found that right now, we are more divided than we have ever been before. We do not want to find the middle ground, which means we are not really listening to each other, and we make choices about where to live, who to marry, and even who our friends will be, based on what we already think. Again, this means we are not really listening to each other. A good conversation needs a balance between talking and listening, and somewhere along the way, we lost that balance. Now, part of this is because of technology. The smartphones that you all have in your hands, or near you so you can get them very fast. Pew Research says about 1/3 of American teenagers send more than 100 text messages every day. And many of them, almost most of them, like to text their friends more than they like to talk to them face to face. There is a great article in The Atlantic. It was written by a high school teacher named Paul Barnwell. He gave his students a speaking project. He wanted to teach them how to talk about one topic without using notes. And he said this: I came to see that speaking well in a conversation might be the one big skill we forget to teach. Kids spend so much time looking at screens, but they do not have time to practice talking to other people in real life. It might sound like a strange question, but we have to ask, is there any important skill today that is better than being able to have a clear, confident talk with someone? Now, I make my living by talking to people. I talk to Nobel Prize winners, truck drivers, billionaires, kindergarten teachers, leaders of countries, and plumbers. I talk to people that I like. I also talk to people that I do not like. I talk to some people that I do not agree with at all, but I can still have a good conversation with them. So now, I want to spend about 10 minutes teaching you how to talk and listen. Many of you have already heard a lot of tips about this, like look people in the eye. Think of good topics to talk about before you meet. Look, nod and smile to show you listen. Repeat what you just heard, or say it in other words. But I want you to forget all of that. It is not useful. There is no reason to learn how to show you listen if you really do listen. Now, I use the same skills as a professional interviewer in my normal life. So I am going to teach you how to interview people. This will help you learn how to be better at talking to people. You can have a conversation without wasting your time, without feeling bored, and please, without making anyone angry. We all have had really good talks before. We know how that feels. It is the kind of talk where you leave feeling happy and full of ideas, or you feel like you really connected with someone. or they really understood you. There is no reason why most of your talks cannot be like that. So I have 10 simple rules. I am going to tell you all of them. But really, if you just pick one of them and get good at it, you will already have better talks with people. So, how can we have better talks? Let me tell you some simple rules to help. First of all, number 1, don't multitask. And I don't just mean put down your phone or your tablet or your car keys or whatever is in your hand. I mean, be here right now. Be in that moment. Don't think about the fight you had with your boss. Don't think about what you will eat for dinner. If you want to leave the talk, then leave the talk. But do not be half in it and half out of it. Next, number 2, don't pontificate. If you want to say your opinion without giving other people a chance to answer, disagree, or help you grow, then just write a blog instead. Now, there is a very good reason why. I don't allow pundits on my show because they are really boring. If they are conservative, they will hate Obama, food stamps, and abortion. If they are liberal, they will hate big banks, oil companies, and Dick Cheney. It is very easy to know what they will say, and you don't want to be like that. You need to come into every talk thinking you have something to learn. The famous therapist M. Scott Peck said that true listening means you have to put your own ideas aside. Sometimes that means you put away your own opinion for a while. He said that when the speaker feels you really accept them, they will feel less scared and more ready to open their mind to you. Again, always believe that you have something to learn. The scientist Bill Nye once said, "Everyone you will ever meet knows something that you don't." I like to say it this way: everybody is an expert in something. Next, number 3, use open-ended questions. Here, you can learn from journalists. Start your questions with who, what, when, where, why, or how. If you ask a simple question, you will get a short answer. For example, if I ask you, "Were you scared?" you will answer the strongest word, which is scared. So you will say, "Yes, I was," or "No, I wasn't." But they are the ones who really know the story. Try to ask questions like, "What was that like?" or "How did that feel?" When you ask like that, the person will stop and really think about it. Then you will get a more interesting answer. And then, number 4, go with the flow. This means when you have a thought, you let it come and then you let it go. Many times we see an interview where the guest talks for a long time. But then the host asks a question that does not make sense or was already answered. This happens because the host stopped listening. He thought of a clever question and just waited to say it. We do the same thing. We talk with someone, then we remember a funny story. Like when we met Hugh Jackman in a coffee shop. So we stopped listening. But you should not do that. Ideas and stories will come into your head. Let them come and let them go. Next, number 5. If you don't know, say that you don't know. People who speak on the radio, like on NPR, know that they are being recorded. So they are more careful about what they say they know for sure. You should do the same. It is better to be careful. Talking should not be cheap. Also, number 6, don't equate your experience with theirs. This means if someone talks about losing a family member, do not start talking about when you lost someone too. If they talk about problems at work, don't start talking about how much you hate your job. It is not the same. It is never the same. Every person's experience is different. More importantly, it is not about you. You do not need to use that moment to show how great you are or how much you have suffered. One time, someone asked Stephen Hawking what his IQ was. He said, "I have no idea." People who brag about their IQs are losers. So remember, a conversation is not a place to show off. In addition, number 7, try not to repeat yourself. It sounds rude and it is really boring. We do this a lot, especially at work or when we talk to our kids. We want to make a point, so we say the same thing again and again in different ways. Don't do that. Number 8. Stay out of the weeds. To be honest, people don't care about the years, the names, the dates, or all those small details that you are trying hard to remember. They really don't care. What they care about is you. They care about what you are like and what you have in common with them. So just forget the details. Leave them out. Number 9. This is not the last one, but it is the most important one. Listen. I can't tell you how many smart people have said that listening is maybe the number one most important skill you can learn. Buddha said, in other words, if your mouth is open, you are not learning. And Calvin Coolidge said, no man ever listened his way out of a job. Why do we not listen to each other? First, we want to talk. When I am talking, I am in control. I don't have to hear things I don't want to hear. I am the center of attention. I can make myself feel important. But there is another reason we get distracted. Most people speak about 225 words each minute, but we can listen to up to 500 words each minute. So our minds fill in those extra 275 words. And listen, I know it takes work and energy to really pay attention to someone. But if you can't do that, you are not having a real conversation. You are just two people shouting short ideas in the same place. You must listen to each other. Stephen Covey said it really well. He said, most of us do not listen to understand. We listen to reply. Number 10, and one more rule, be brief. Be interested in other people. You know, I grew up with a very famous grandfather. In my house, we had a little habit. People would come over to talk to my grandparents. After they left, my mother would come to us and say, do you know who that was? She was the runner-up for Miss America. He was the mayor of Sacramento. She won a Pulitzer Prize. He is a Russian ballet dancer. So, I grew up thinking that everyone has something special and amazing about them that we may not see right away. And really, I think this helps me to be a better host. I keep my mouth shut as much as I can. I keep my mind open. And I am always ready to be surprised. I am never disappointed. So you can do the same thing. Go out, talk to people, listen to people, and most importantly, be ready to be amazed. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of this talk. Remember, a good conversation can change your day, and maybe even change your life. So, keep talking, keep listening, and always be ready to be amazed by other people. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more simple English talks. Your support really helps me to make more videos for English learners like you. Thank you again for being here. I wish you lots of fun and meaningful conversations in your life. See you in the next episode, and bye for now.